Hey, what's up? Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. Today, I want to help you with one of the biggest things that players struggle with, and that is late preparation. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the real reason why you prepare late for your shots. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, it'd be awesome if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. Okay, so what's the real reason that you prepare late for your shots? Well, there's one thing that we know it isn't. We know it isn't because you don't know what you're supposed to do. If you're watching this video, you already understand the importance of being prepared early, being set up in the right position, ready for your shots. You also know that if you prepare late or you aren't prepared in time, your chances of executing the shot, your chances of having good timing and all those things go down dramatically. So the question is, why can't you do it? Well, what this comes down to is, in order to prepare early, you have to be able to predict where the ball's going fast enough. The way this should work, as your opponent makes contact with the ball, or just after your opponent makes contact with the ball, ideally you're landing from your split step just after they've made contact, so then you can recognize where the ball's going and immediately push off and react and move into position. And as you push off and react, you start the unit turn, whether it's your forehand or your backhand, starting to take your racket back for the initial stages of preparation. And then as you move towards the ball, you finish the preparation more with your upper body and your arm. So that's what should be happening. But if you can't predict where the ball's going soon enough, it doesn't work like that. And what this comes down to is your visual system isn't working well enough to predict the ball in the way that it needs to. You might not realize you have a problem with your visual system because you're obviously doing well in life. You know, you can drive a car, you can work in the office, you can do all the normal things that you do. But playing high-level tennis, trying to predict where a ball's going, because every shot's different. It's hit with a different speed, different spin, different trajectory, different directions, different lighting conditions, sometimes the shade and shadow. There's all this stuff going on. And to be able to read where the ball's going really quickly so that you can prepare in time, you need an extremely high-level visual system. It has to be functioning at an amazing level. This is one thing that they don't talk about in terms of, you know, the professional tennis players that we see on TV. Their visual systems did millions and millions of repetitions growing up. And obviously they're the best of the best. Part of the reason they made it there was because of how well their visual systems are functioning. Because there's a lot of players that had the same practice, the same training, but didn't make it to that elite level, partly because their visual systems didn't work well enough. So if you're preparing late for your shots, that's the real reason why. Your visual system simply isn't capable of doing what it needs to do. But that doesn't have to be the end of the story. Vision is something that you can actually change with training. You can massively improve how your visual system functions. You can improve your ability to read where the ball's going faster, to predict where the ball's going faster, so then you can start to move and set up in the right position for your shots. To help you with that, I've got a couple of resources. I've got a free Tennis Vision Starter program. It's going to be a fantastic way to start training your visual system. I'll place a link in the description and I'll place a link up there in the corner. It's just going to show you some simple vision training exercises that you can do. But I've also got a masterclass that dives in a little bit deeper and it goes through some assessments with your visual system, because general training is good, but sometimes we need to figure out stuff on a slightly deeper level. So I'll place a link in both of those places for you as well. So you'll have access to two different resources that you can use to start to prepare early, because this is really what it comes down to. Adult tennis players that prepare late, when you assess their visual systems, there's generally pretty glaring deficits. They might not have been picked up at the eye doctors, because when you're at the eye doctors, you're sitting down or you're standing up and they're doing specific assessments. That is a very different thing to how well your visual system functions when you're running, you're out of breath, you're moving, you're split stepping, you're twisting, you're doing all this stuff. So even if you think you've got perfect vision, I've never assessed a tennis player that was struggling with this sort of thing that had perfect vision, so my guess is you won't, and that's why I've got those free resources to help you. Now, in addition to the visual stuff, you also want to work on your movement to the ball, because that can be helpful as well. I'll place some links down below to videos that I've made to help you on that side of things, but it doesn't matter how much footwork practice you do if you can't predict where the ball's going in the first place. So, that is the real reason that you are preparing late for your shots. I've been studying this stuff for a long time, and there's only one way that I know to change it. That's to improve how your visual system's functioning. The good news is it's actually quite easy to do once you know how. So check those resources out and get started on it. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be awesome if you give me that thumbs up. Obviously, if you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back to you as quick as I can.